What's up, guys? We're gonna real beats. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make some simple yet beautiful melodies from scratch. If you guys haven't subbed already, I'll turn postings on. Make sure you do so because it helps out a lot. Let's hop right into it. So first things first, you're just gonna grab in a scale, and I think I'm gonna run with, let's do A minor, just because it's all the white notes. So here we have a piano. Okay, so this video shouldn't be too long. So starting here. Usually you'd be like, okay, let's just make a cool bass line, right? No, we don't want to do that. Now, I showed this in my last video, I think, but instead of doing that, you can switch things up. All right, so you'll see as more videos I put out, start doing more off the wall things, right? Because we kind of got this down, right? All right, putting the bass line, doing this, right? So now let's switch it up. Now, even though A is the root, we can offset it. And I like to follow the thirds rule. That doesn't mean you can't have more chords in here, but it's just a foundation so that you won't go too crazy, right? So from here you could just make a chord backwards because you know these chords, these are in harmony, right? So anywhere you put these, it'll sound good. But I want to switch it up and maybe do something like this. All right, so now from here it's like, what do I do now? Oh, you can make a chord this way if you want to, which actually wouldn't be a bad idea. But you could just start from here. Let me make sure this is large. You can just go up. Okay, and at this point, I'm just using my ear, and we know the root works because it's the root. It'll probably sound good in any chord we make here. So what you could do is delete some. All right, and it's up to you what you want to delete. Let's just see. Okay, so I like this one. So if you're somebody you like this one, that's perfectly fine. Use it. Or if you liked all of it. All right, but I do like to separate the bass notes a little bit. That's why I deleted this A. Okay, and now pretty much what you can do, because we want to keep this ambient as well. We don't want it to be too melodic, right? Where it's just flipping everywhere. So what I like to do is pretty much just copy this throughout. And let's actually move this down. I don't want this to overlap. Okay, so now we got this. Now remember that G we had? Pull it down. And let's pull this over, because this A matches this, right? And I'm just putting it really simply, okay? All right, so now from here, what we can do, let's see. And I don't want to make this difficult. So what we could do is pull maybe this, because this happens a lot, or you can use the same chord, but let's move this up, because in my head, I'm hearing it go up. Right, I kind of want it to go up, so let's move this. Right, I'm showing you my process. I'm just skipping every note, and let's pick the middle one, right? And you learn this stuff from watching my other videos. My videos are in order, so everything that I just did, I've taught in another video or previous video. Okay, so now from here, what we need to do is take these bass notes, because this is where the melody starts to sound really good. Pull these down, and depending on the key, we should be safe with A. I think this may be too low, so let's delete that, and I'll have to move this down a bit. Okay. All right, so that's the first part. So now we're gonna go ahead and animate it a little bit. All right, so now we're gonna animate it. Now we're not gonna do the regular like guitar one that I showed. We're gonna use this in moderation, because I think a lot with these like very ambient like melodies, and you can see we're not having much movement between the chords. So just keep that in mind as well. If you look, Nothing is really changing. It's just like these top notes. Okay, but with these, you don't want too much movement going on, because then it just starts to get too much and it's going to lose that ambience and it starts to sound like a super melodic trap beat melody. So let me zoom in. So like I usually like to play these out. And then on the last one, like right here, is where I would animate it. Now you could do whatever you would like, but this is just what I like personally. So if you want to put something right here, right, which I never really like that combo, but you can put wherever you want. But this is what we're going to do. So pay attention to this. And this is why we built everything how we did, is because this pattern right here is what you want to pay attention to. And these are the most important notes when animating these things, right? Without one of these, it doesn't sound right. These you need. Now in the middle, what you do, you offset and pull this in. This is the pattern right here. You could try this, but this usually doesn't sound good. This right here is the sauce, okay? But you need both of these, and I'll show you why. Okay, now we'll play it. Okay, and what you could do if you're like, okay, I don't know what to put next, you can obviously put other notes, right? We know that G works. Okay, but all I like to do is take the bottom note here, pull it down, and do something like this. And this is just things that I do. Okay, this doesn't mean it's the best way to do it or the best sounding way. It's just what I like. So I'm gonna pull the velocity up a little bit on this note, and then I like to just do something like that. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Okay, and I'm gonna show you an example of what I mean real quick. Okay, now without one of these, it sounds a little odd, and I'll play it all together to show you. Now if we play it without it, you see how like empty it sounds? So that little simple note right here is a huge difference in how this whole thing sounds. All right, so keep this in mind. So that's how you animate it. So now let's go ahead and create variation on this side. All right, so now we're gonna do the variation. So with this, our idea is to kind of tease the ear a bit. All right, so we don't want to put too much, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if you want to do more, you can. Just because I said I want to do this does not mean that's what you need to do. If you like, you know what, I want to offset this like this, I want to pull this back and maybe do something like this, go ahead. It's perfectly fine. Right, sounds just as good. That's just a part of your style if you want to do something different. For me, I just like playing it through, right? So that's just me. So let's copy it over, right? Now this melody part, we're going to create a melody, and what we want to do is make sure it's not separate from the chords, right? Because we want this to sound ambient, right? So let me zoom in so you can see the notes clearly. Now, where to start? Well, we got this A here, so you can just create a chord and then pick one of the notes. And I usually pick the middle note like 100% of the time, right? Or you can just look down and see what notes you have. And the C is there too. So we could just use C since it's here. Now with pianos, I like to just start it at the front. Some people can do it, you know, however they want. I like to start at the front. And then now the next part, you put like, okay, what do we do here? What notes do we do here? We go here, we go here. Well, look down. You already did everything. The E, the C, where's the D? I know the D's down here. Here it is right here. Oh, wait, look. E. And then we can go back here. I like to make them bleed over a bit. Let's go back to the C here. Make them bleed over. Right. And it's 100% win rate because you already know these are in harmony with your melody because they're already down here. So you don't have to guess anymore. All right. Now, the second part, velocity. How do I figure out what to do with the velocity? So let me set this up so you can see. So I just do it by the motion. So as this, so you can see how this one is lower than the E. Down here, whatever is lower than this, I'll put it lower. So this is lower, okay? And oh, this one goes a little bit higher, so I'm gonna put the velocity up. Now you can see the motion is going down, so I mimic that with my mouse as they go down. And then this one is on the same level as this one, so I just put it near there, and that's how I do the velocity. Is that the best way to do it? Probably not, but that's just the method that I do. Okay, so now we got over here, and now we need to finish this because it's something missing. Okay, and I might need to zoom in and pull out a little bit. Okay, so remember, we need to keep these because without these, it just, something is off. And it's just crazy how that works, how that one note completely changes everything. So what do we do from here? Now you could just, you see the G right here? Make sure everything is large. You could just use the G, or you could just continue the chord on up, right? And you get the major, whatever. So I just offset this again, just because I put mine here doesn't mean that you know, if you want to put yours here, that's fine. Me, I just want mine's right here. So what next? Because we still got some spaces to fill. Well, let's look down. What can we use? Well, let's try the D right here. We could put this right here, and then maybe we can put this here, right? Or you could try other notes, but I'm just sticking to what we know, right? Because we know it's going to sound good, because it's pretty much all we've been using, right? Right? Sounds amazing, right? So now the velocity, we want to make sure that this sounds, it's just not like stabbing, right? We want it to kind of have a little dynamic in it. So I'm gonna just pull these up a little bit, maybe pop that one up since the highest, and then we're gonna pop back down. Make sure that note is back at the original. Okay, now we can play all the way through. Okay, now, like I said, I like to give it some rest. If you want to add other things in here, that is perfectly fine. If you want to offset things, okay, that's completely up to you, but I want to make sure this is simple. All we did was this on this side. Really, that's all we touched. Okay, so now that's pretty much it. Now let's go ahead and add these over. So I just want to show y'all how little you can do just to make a good melody. Like, you don't have to do a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and just we can pop that back down. All right, so now we can listen to it. Is everything all together, and I'll just show you the melody. All right, and that's pretty much all you need to do, right? And then this works for other sounds. Like, I think this one is the pad. Okay, so this whole entire melody works throughout any sound we put here, all right? Because when you get to doing too much stuff, you have to start editing a lot. So this is just like the simple way of doing it. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.